Welcome to our latest Wandering Walks of Wonder Museum tour. Today we're headed to the Hallmark Visitor Center right here in the heart of Kansas City, Missouri, just steps from where Hallmark was born. Today we'll walk through the rich history of Hallmark cards, discover the creative forces behind its iconic products, and take a closer look at the Hallmark company itself.
Yes, that is a brand. And one block over, one block east is Maine. And on Maine you can
In 1910, Joyce Clyde Hall, a young man from Norfolk, Nebraska, arrived in Kansas City, Missouri with just 2 shoeboxes of picture postcards and an entrepreneurial spirit. He began selling postcards from the YMCA and soon partnered with his brothers Raleigh and William Hall to form Hall Brothers Company. Unfortunately, in 1915, a fire destroyed their office and inventory, forcing them to rebuild from scratch. But instead of returning to postcards, the brothers pivoted to something new: greeting cards. By the early 1920s, Hall Brothers had pioneered a new format, the folded card with an envelope, replacing the postcard-style greetings of the day. This innovation not only changed the industry, it helped shape the way Americans and people around the world express their emotions on paper. In 1917, a holiday season shortage of tissue paper prompted the Hall brothers to substitute decorative French envelope lining paper. It sold out quickly, so the following year they produced and sold their own printed wrapping paper, creating an entirely new retail category. Before this moment, gift wrapping didn't exist as we know it today. That single innovation turned into a billion-dollar industry. In 1928, the brand name Hallmark was adopted, inspired by the mark used by goldsmiths in the Middle Ages to signify quality. They also introduced the iconic crown logo and began advertising nationally, among the first greeting card companies to do so. The slogan, and we're all familiar with it, "When you care enough to send the very best," was coined in 1944 by a Hallmark sales and marketing executive and remains in use today. In 1951, Hallmark began producing the Hallmark Hall of Fame television series, an anthology of high-quality dramas, and we'll see a little bit more about that as we go along with the tour. It became one of TV's longest-running and most awarded programs, earning over 80 Emmy Awards. In 1973, Hallmark launched its first line of Keepsake Ornaments, which quickly became collector favorites. We'll see more of those too as we go along our tour of the Hallmark Visitor Center. With hundreds of new ornaments released each year, Hallmark even hosts annual collectors conventions here in Kansas City. In 2001, Hallmark launched the Hallmark Channel, which has grown into a major network for feel-good movies, especially during the holiday times. Today, Hallmark remains a privately held, family-owned company headquartered right here in Kansas City, just a few steps away from the visitor center that we're going through. It employs about 20,000 people worldwide, with thousands working here at the headquarters and distribution facilities in the Kansas City region. This part of the exhibit highlights Hallmark's collaborations with legendary artists, thinkers, and leaders. These partnerships have helped elevate the greeting card to a true form of expressive art. Some of those artists include Norman Rockwell, the beloved American illustrator. Hallmark worked with Rockwell in the mid-20th century, turning his nostalgic and heartwarming paintings into greeting cards. As we can see here, we can see some of the original sketches all the way through to finished cards. Another collaboration was with actually Winston Churchill. And here's something that is real surprising. Hallmark did produce cards featuring paintings of Sir Winston Churchill. Inspired by President Eisenhower's interest in art, Churchill took up painting as a way to relieve stress. Some of the landscapes and portraits which we see here were licensed by Hallmark in the 1960s, bridging diplomacy, creativity, and commerce. We also see an exhibit here with Eisenhower, President Eisenhower. For his dedication to fostering goodwill, Joyce Hall was awarded the Eisenhower Medallion in the 1970s. And also, Eisenhower was a great printer, and sometimes some of his paintings were featured on Hallmark cards. Another collaboration Hallmark had was with Maya Angelou. Here we see an exhibit on the story of Dr. Maya Angelou, the poet and civil rights icon. In 2002, she partnered with Hallmark on a special line of cards called Life Mosaic. These cards featured her original poetry and messages of transformation, healing, and compassion. One of the earliest collaborations that Hallmark had was with Walt Disney. They built a partnership featuring cards, trinkets, ornaments, and much more, and that has continued for nearly 80 years now. We're now stepping into one of the most magical rooms in the Hallmark Visitor Center, the circular gallery that houses the J.C. Hall Christmas Tree Collection. From 1966 to 1982, Hallmark employees created these magnificent one of a kind Christmas trees as annual holiday gifts for the company's founder, Joyce C. Hall, better known as J.C. Hall. Each tree was lovingly handcrafted by different departments from creative staff to administrative teams, often working in secret to surprise them each year. More than just decorations, these trees were true works of art. Every ornament, garland, and topper was custom made and reflected themes from that year, ranging from traditional Victorian styles to whimsical scenes with elves, angels, and even Hallmark characters. Materials would often vary too. Glass, felt, wood, tin, and even upcycled office supplies were used to create these tiny masterpieces. Each December, the tree would be wheeled into J.C. Hall's executive office as a surprise. He often said it was one of the most cherished traditions in his life, not because of the grandeur, but because of the creativity and care his employees poured into each and every tree. You can even find, if you look closely, handwritten notes from the teams who made them, sometimes including holiday wishes, jokes, or inside references from Hallmark's headquarters here in Kansas City. Today, these trees are preserved here in this gallery where we as visitors can appreciate not just their beauty, but the culture of creativity and gratitude that J.C. Hall nurtured within his company. They're more than just decorations. They're reminders of how a company rooted in kindness, creativity, and celebration honors not only its customers, but the people behind the scenes who bring the Hallmark magic to life. Hallmark's influence isn't limited just to greeting cards. Its reach spans across the decades of American culture, including television. Here we enter the Hallmark Hall of Fame showcase. Hallmark Hall of Fame began in 1951, airing quality made for TV films that often adapted beloved novels and historical biographies. It quickly earned a reputation for heartfelt storytelling and high production values. Over the decades, Hallmark's commitment to excellence has earned the Hall of Fame series more than 80 Emmy Awards and over 15 Peabody Awards and a host of humanitarian prizes. These aren't just trophies, each one represents stories that have moved millions. Here we can see various photos and memorabilia from such timeless classics, Hallmark classics as The Secret Garden, Sarah Plain and Tall, Follow the Stars Home, and The Love Letter. Many of these films included such stars as Glenn Close, Christopher Walken, and even a young Zac Efron long before his Disney days. But what made these productions unique wasn't just their cinematic quality, it was their values. They often highlighted compassion, resilience, and the power of human connection, just like Hallmark cards themselves. Hallmark Hall of Fame set a new standard for what corporate sponsored media could be, and it wasn't just about selling, it was about sharing stories that inspired. And that's part of Hallmark's enduring cultural legacy, connecting people not just with cards, but through stories that transcend generations.
You know, there are a lot of you AOC members and loyal collectors out there, and you probably have a pretty good idea of what's to come. So let's go ahead and get started. Coming in at number 10 is a buddy of sorts who we've gotten to know over the years. Take a look. Number 10.
Each ornament in the series features a snowman with one of his favorite woodland creatures.
Cute little snowman with a little friend over here.
In fun situations, little critters.
Mine is a little snowman with a bunny. Mine's a little polar bear. My absolute favorite was the little hedgehog. I mean, who doesn't love a hedgehog? Reminds me of a kid growing up.
No tour of the Hallmark Visitor Center would be complete without a visit to one of the most beloved traditions in Hallmark history, the Keepsake Ornament Showcase. The Keepsake Ornament line began in 1973 with just 6 glass ball ornaments and 12 yarn figures. Little did anyone know it would grow into what be one of the most iconic collectible lines in the country. Today, there are over 8,500 unique keepsake ornaments that have been released, many becoming treasured heirlooms passed down through the generations. You'll see how styles and themes have evolved over the years, from nostalgic Santas and angels to intricate mechanical ornaments that move and light up. Every July, devoted fans line up early for the annual ornament premiere, many arriving hours before stores open to be the first to purchase that year's limited editions. Some even collect every ornament in certain series, like Frosty's Friends, the long-running Hallmark Keepsake series that began in the 1980s. Hallmark ornament artists also celebrate pop culture, from Darth Vader and the Millennium Falcon to Hogwarts Castle and Marvel superheroes. Whether you're a Trekkie, Disney fan, or classic car enthusiast, there's an ornament that speaks to your story. Each Hallmark ornament is designed by a dedicated team of Hallmark artists, many of whom spend months sculpting, painting, and refining each detail by hand. You can oftentimes watch behind-the-scenes video here in this gallery that show how a single ornament goes from concept sketch to shelf. And if you look closely, these cases feature some of the rarest and most valuable keepsake ornaments ever made, including limited editions, early prototypes, as well as artist-signed pieces. For Hallmark, these ornaments are more than just decorations. They're milestones celebrating first homes, new babies, anniversaries, favorite movies, and family memories. Every one of them tells a story, maybe even yours.
Feliz cumpleaños a una persona fascinante, agradable y inteligente, en realidad muy parecida a mí.
Think back to a time before glossy paper, curling ribbon, and printing tags on packages. But believe it or not, gift wrapping as we know it didn't exist until Hallmark changed everything. It all started in 1917 right here in Kansas City. During a bustling holiday season, Hallmark founders Joyce and Raleigh Hall ran out of the colored tissue paper that customers use for wrapping gifts. But in a creative pinch, they grabbed a stack of fancy envelope liners from their inventory. Elegant French printed paper with beautiful designs, and set them out as an alternative. To their surprise, that entire stock sold out in a single day, and in following years, they turned wrapping into part of the gift itself, launching a full line of commercial gift wrap along with coordinated ribbons, tags, and bows. Over the decades, Hallmark has continued to innovate, introducing textured papers, reversible patterns, pre-cut wrap sheets, and even pop-up gift boxes. Before we leave our tour of the Hallmark Visitor Center, we don't want to miss everyone's favorite stop, the legendary bow making machine. With the press of the button, we craft our very own keepsake bow, just like the signature toppers Hallmark has placed on holiday gifts for generations. It provides a great souvenir to remember the visit. And whether you're 5 or 95, this hands-on experience brings out the joy of making something beautiful with your own two hands. I hope you've enjoyed this Wondering Walks tour here at the Hallmark Visitor Center in Kansas City. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you on our next Wondering Walks of Wonder adventure. Take care now. Bye-bye.